Welcome to this special episode of Manufacturing Tech Australia, coming to you from the Modern Manufacturing Expo at the Sydney Showgrounds on the traditional lands of the Wongal people.
So we're here day 2 of the Modern Manufacturing Expo. I'm here with Daniel, and what are you looking forward to today, Daniel?
There's some great panels on the expert arena today. There's one on electronic manufacturing and another one on skills, always an important topic.
Awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting around and seeing all the other expert providers and vendors around different solutions in industrial automation, robotics, all that kind of thing. So we'll get around the show and we'll touch base later on.
Cool.
Yes. So we're here with Meighan from Mitsubishi Electric and Habib.
Yeah.
Meighan, we know a little bit about Mitsubishi, how it works in our society, but where does Mitsubishi Electric fit into the manufacturing space?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. It's great to be here with you today. So Mitsubishi Electric is a total factory automation supplier. So we supply everything from the hardware that's used to run the systems through to then things like robots that help in the production line, and then into the automation software that means you can have a look at what's going on quite clearly.
So Habib, tell us a little bit more about Mitsubishi Electric, what you guys are doing in factory automation in terms of visibility on the production line.
Yeah, I mean, I work with Iconics, and Iconic became part of Mitsubishi group of companies. We've been providing software solution for 35 years now, and we've been working with many vertical industries, especially on manufacturing side, food, pharmaceutical, automotive, and so on and so forth. So we've been providing the visualization, data analysis, advanced analysis as well, production level controls, read and write as well. Now, working with Mitsubishi as a part of the whole team provides a total solution where you have got complete plant floor, machine motors, power meters, inverters, everything, all the way to the controller level and then to the software level as well. So we've been providing services and software solutions for bridging various subsystems on a manufacturing floor, providing the visibility, dashboards, controls, read and writes, so enabling various devices, keeping your workforce to be mobile. So instead of sticking to the dashboards or the screens, now we have got the information where anything is predicted to be happening. We're going to inform you, and you can quickly look into the system with AR as well, visual with the CCTV camera, 3D reality as well, and you can fine tune those parameters as well. So it's bringing the visualization to the blindness,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the old days, it would just be, manufacturers would say, we can just go and look. Why do we need to see a fancy dashboard? But now it's not just about reporting and that single source of truth. It's also, we need that data so we can make more informed decisions and use that intelligence, right?
And one of the things which is happening for the last few years is remote assets. So it's a lot of diversification now, and people, they want to connect to all of those devices into one screen, So multiple factories, multiple locations, and especially work from home kind of environment also pushing us this kind of visualization where we want to have access of real-time information, real-time decision-making capability as well. That's where the whole solution comes into place.
Yeah, I mean, that leads us perfectly into what I wanted to ask Meighan about her trip to Japan. We're just talking about AI and machine learning. Tell us about the awesome stuff you saw over in Japan.
I was in Japan 2.5 weeks ago, and one of the things that I got to do on my trip this time was visit our facility called Sustier. So Sustier is our zero emission building research and development centre. It's just outside of Tokyo, and it's a pretty exciting place. It's 6,500 square metre, 4-storey commercial building, which we use for our research into the use of technologies to help drive sustainable operations and sustainable facilities. One of the really cool things when we talk about digital twins and artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning, it's really nice to see it in practice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I arrived, I was on the tour, and I was taken to the operational control centre, and they said, here is the operational control centre, Meighan. I said, okay, great, and you will see there are no people in this control centre. And the reason for that is that the systems are working together with such a deep learning, deep understanding of what's going on in the facility, that it can do all of the calculations that need to be done to maintain the optimum levels of energy consumption and wellness in the building without the need for human intervention. Pretty impressive.
And we've seen that also. We've seen an AI CEO, GM, put on boards now where they can work 24/7. They're analysing the data continuously to make decisions about the company. So I think we're going to see more and more of that, whether it's just guided by full AI or whether it's AI supported decision making. I think it's really important for the future.
Yeah, I think we will, and I think that one of the exciting things is there will then be things that will be done by those systems, but we also need the people who are going to program the systems, who are going to make sure they're working, and then to keep an eye on what's happening.
Yeah. And you've just come off the expert arena here. Could you maybe give us some of the key highlights from your presentation earlier?
Yeah, definitely. So I spoke in the expert arena about making the invisible visible. How do we use the power of our data to unlock what's happening in our facilities, in our buildings for sustainable operations?
Yeah.
So triple bottom line, people, planet, profit. It's not just about environment when we're talking about sustainability, it's the whole thing. And we've talked about cash is king for years when we're running a business. I think, well, if cash is king, then data is queen.
Yeah.
Because we have to unlock that data. We have to be able to see it, understand it, analyse it to help us make decisions. And if we do all of that well, then we can see continuous improvement. Big concept in a Japanese organisation, Kaizen, constant incremental change. The data will help us do that. Better energy consumption, better operational efficiency, improved or reduction in cost, improved margin, all of that comes with really understanding that information well.
And we say if we can't measure it, we can't improve it, right? So it makes data so important.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, Meighan.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, thanks for having us.
I'm here with Julie from Investment New South Wales, and we're talking about digital skills program, the Driving Digital Skills program. I'll get it right. Thanks for coming on the show, Julie.
Thank you.
Maybe tell us a little bit about Driving Digital Skills program, what you guys have achieved. I know you've been running for about 3 years. Tell us all about it.
Okay, so we decided to embark on this program because there was a real need for companies to be aware of Industry 4.0, advanced technologies, and what the business model was that sat sort of beside that as well. And sort of we developed the program as a pilot in the beginning, and really sort of had some great partners with us. That was Skills Lab, which is part of Sage Automation, Training Services New South Wales, and some key industry partners. And those industry partners really gave us the feedback that has continued all the way through the program. We've evolved, so we've gone into a second program called Pathways to Manufacturing, where we've taken the information that we had on the driving digital skills and the micro-credentials that we were using sort of in that program, and we've contextualised it to a school environment, and we call it Pathways to Manufacturing.
Fantastic.
And the next stage of our program is that we will concentrate on net zero, and that will be the requirements for companies to meet scope 1, 2 and 3.
So how does this work for businesses? Is this something they sign up for? They can sign different people up to get trained up, or what's the program
they can
like?
just sign up people. So first of all, we have to start with knowing where you are on that maturity level of Industry 4.0, advanced technologies. So we actually get the leadership team in the companies that are interested to go through a future map diagnostic tool.
Okay.
And we work closely with AI Group on that. And that's delivered in New South Wales by UTS. And they go through this sort of program that really helps them define what their new sustainable business model is going to be. We really concentrate on the micro-credentials around automation that's available through the new education and training model. And then at sort of the workforce level, we have micro-credentials that have come out of the Diploma of Applied Technologies, and we've actually contextualised those with project management skills as well.
Okay.
And the companies sort of actually present to each other at the end of the program.
Right.
And they can actually learn from each other and start sort of collaborating with that group as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I really like the Future Map tool because it not only looks at all that tech side and R&D, we're looking at leadership and management and the whole picture of where the business is ready. So
that's right. And now, of course, with AI Group have come sort of through with a net zero future map. That's going to be exciting.
Fantastic, and it's so important now after COVID's,
definitely,
it's shown up all those holes in the supply chains and value chains that we didn't see before.
And it's also about taking that digital component as well. So it's a combination, but at the center is always what is your business model and how does the workforce development initiatives that we're putting together actually align to that business model.
I think it's so important, especially with how fast moving AI is at the moment. It's those companies and those people with the skills to leverage all those great technologies and the data, like you said.
Exactly.
So these skills is one of the most important, if not the most important thing, I think, moving forward.
And it's also about awareness, because everybody needs to feel comfortable about where modern manufacturing is going. The awareness of Industry 4.0 and what benefit it's going to be to an industry, an organisation, and also its people.
Absolutely. We had John Broadbent on the show who spoke at the arena this morning, talking exactly about that, the global lighthouses, all these great examples of wonderful businesses and how they've managed to leverage digital tools, Industry 4.0, to just be that one step up, changes.
And we need to collaborate. We need to learn from each other. What works for one may not work for another. You might already have advanced technologies in your organisation, but are you actually utilising them for high productivity? It can become your competitive advantage.
So tell us, how can businesses jump on board and get in touch?
Go onto the Investment New South Wales website or the Training Services New South Wales website and look at the advanced manufacturing, and it goes into the driving digital skills.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Julie.
Thank you.
All right. Here with Matt Lynch from Affirmer. Nice to chat with you. So you guys do, video content, training, predominantly safety, but really any type of video content for training?
Yeah, so digital content for learning and communication. So some of our main products are around transforming safe operating procedures or how-to manuals, or anything that we can make information more engaging.
Okay, and you do that using a gaming engine rather than shooting live content?
Yes. So we use Unreal Engine, which is primarily used for video games, but now Hollywood's actually taking on for virtual production. So we build environments. So we've got a logistics warehouse. We'll build an environment and have equipment in there like a forklift and digital humans, and we can manipulate those assets to what we need, and then we have virtual cameras inside that space. So we can export out any sort of content and have anything happening in a safe way rather than trying to do it in real life.
So what's the benefits of that for the users of the content and for your customers?
So we get to reduce costs because we're not going to site. We get to show exactly what they want to show. We can really be specific. And then with 3D, you can cut it in half, or you can zoom right in or highlight parts that you normally would take more work to do in virtual or in real production. And then the advantage too is with changes. If you have an incident at your factory, we can then make the change to the content and then export out the new ones. Say you want to change the colour of their hard hats, we can just do another run, same assets, but change the colours and out it goes, rather than going to reshoot.
I can understand the value of that. I've seen plenty of old videos still being used 10 years later, so keeping it up to date is a good benefit.
The common complaint we get is we spent $15,000 on a video and we've had an incident now, we want to add something, and now the video doesn't quite cut what we want it to do, or it's going to be a lot of work to change. And a lot of video companies charge 50 to 100% to redo that video. Then you've got to bring people back in because of continuity problems. So with us, we can do it quite economically and make those changes.
So what would a basic video cost someone, and how would that work?
So a basic video is roughly around $5,000 for a 3-minute video, whether it be a normal video or with animation. But it obviously dependent on the content, but that's a rough pricing guide.
Okay, cool. And has most of your success been in the safety and the health side of things?
It's anything procedural. So anytime you want to show an activity, especially outdoors or in a certain environment. That's where it works really well.
So great for onboarding.
Onboarding, inductions,
Yeah.
safety procedures, policies,
Yeah.
how-to videos, we do it all.
Perfect.
All right.
I'll leave anyone out there to get in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Nice to chat.
We're here with Mark from the Manufacturing Industry Skills Alliance. Thanks for joining us on the show, Mark.
No worries, Paul.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
So as a Manufacturing Job Industry Skills Alliance, we're a jobs and skills council funded by the Department of Employment and Workplace Relations. We have a broad range of functions, anywhere from workforce planning, workforce development, to also working with industry to understand the workforce challenges, issues, and developing some strategies and responses about how we might respond to them nationally. That might be anywhere from, career pathways, career mapping, but we also have a role in developing and maintaining national training packages, which involve the Cert 2s, Cert 3s, so it's that work in the vocational education and training sector.
We're just talking offline there, and what I found really interesting is you guys have only been around for a few months, but you're sort of getting all this data in from industry, what the common problems are, and then helping formulate solutions from that. Could you maybe talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, so as a Jobs and Skills Council, we're out there at the moment just trying to get a better understanding about, what are some of those challenges with industry? And a lot of people are saying we need skilled labour, like just getting people into the manufacturing space. A few people that I've spoken here before is getting that skilled labour across the trades and things into the manufacturing space is a real shortage for some of those organisations.
Absolutely. And immigration solving a few of those gaps as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Immigration's got a role to play in all of that as well, and getting people into the country and how we do that and getting the right skills into the right job is a key component of that.
Mark, maybe tell us a bit about how you can help manufacturers and how you work with them.
So we provide and go and engage, as it says, industry-owned, industry-led. So we go out and engage with as many manufacturers as we can to understand some of their skill issues, workforce challenges, and so we're really keen to go out and talk to a broad range of industries across Australia in the manufacturing space, and our remit's quite broad. So we do anything from chemicals, hydrocarbons, refining, to some of the metals and engineering trades, the laboratory operations, to lean manufacturing, environmental, all of that type of stuff. So we're really keen to engage with a range of industries in that space.
Awesome. So if I'm a manufacturer and I want to get some help, how do we get in touch and work together?
Yep, so best way is to look up Manufacturing Industry Skills Alliance. Our contact details are on the website, and so reach out to us because, as I say, we're a national organisation that reaches across a broad range of industries in manufacturing, and we're keen to talk to as many people as we can.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mark.
No worries, Paul.
Cheers. We're here with Ella from IICA. Ella, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
And tell us all about, what does IICA do?
Well, IICA, as we roll off the tongue better, they're actually an institute, but I don't like the word institute. We call it more of an association for instrumentation, control and automation. We're a little bit similar to, say, Engineers Australia, where they provide a lot of education and events, expos, and so forth. However, we're more focused on industry and less about sort of the educational side of things. But we do like to marry the two when we can, and we'll do tours. We've done one with the University of Wollongong, University of Newcastle, and so forth. But we do a lot of those sort of events where we get people in the room together. A lot of networking, share insights and what have you. We have an expo coming up, actually, great promo for me, coming up in South Sydney, in Cabramatta, at the Cabramatta RSL, and that's on the 11th of October. And that will be solution providers and your end users, good mix in a room, but the exhibitors will be mainly your solution providers, hardware, software, and so forth. And we've got tours coming up like ResMed tour, 9th of October. And the other night we had a technical night at Burkitt Pacific. Yeah. So that was quite interesting as well. They talked a lot about sustainability, smart factory, efficiencies, those hot topic conversations that we're all having at the moment.
Yeah, I've been to a few of your events in Melbourne, the ones at the Docklands.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the regions as well. What I like is, you get out to the regions as well, so that all those businesses, doesn't matter where you are, can still come along and see the vendors and network.
Yeah, exactly.
And the networking drinks afterwards is always good as well. So,
yeah,
it's a great event, great networking, great educational for businesses.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah, so the Tech Expo coming up, we'll be having a lot of drinks as well. So happy hour around 4:30, so hope to see you there.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, good.
Cool. So thanks for coming on the show today,
Thank
Ella.
you. Thanks very much.
All right, we're here with Ross and Brynt from RSM. You guys are gold sponsors for the Modern Manufacturing Expo, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what RSM do?
Thanks a lot, Paul. Look, RSM is traditionally known as accounting, audit, tax and consulting business. So, everything to do with sort of mid-tier accounting firm across Australia. We have about 34 offices across the country in most city centres and a few regional areas as well. I'll let Ross talk a little bit about some of our core businesses we focus on around the manufacturing sector.
Yeah, great. We were chatting a bit last night about the manufacturing side, Ross. And what I found most interesting was how you sort of get down to the regions and you're sort of helping all these different businesses, small, mum and dad businesses in manufacturing. So it'd be good to hear about, what services you guys provide.
Thanks, Paul. I think for us, as I spoke to you last night about, we're probably the only provider that can go sole trader, ABN over the kitchen table through to listing and dropping in those price appropriate services along the way. Some of those services generally look like they're really easy wins. R&D is a really easy win that a lot of manufacturers, especially those mum and dad owned 2 to 20 mil, haven't started yet. And it's great to be getting money kind of back from the government to kind of drive those that innovation in the business.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more around digital transformation, a lot more businesses go to export, helping them structure for that. So it's been really exciting to see those businesses grow and we can kind of grow with them. And at the right point, we can get the right services in. We kind of describe ourselves for those manufacturers acting more like a concierge. And then once we get to the top end of town, we've got the full suite out of Metro, and it's a really neat solution. The one area where we've had a lot of traction, as I said, digital transformation, but also some of the software offerings, of which Brynt's team kind of are driving that. So I don't know, Brynt, if you'd want to talk to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ross. So what not a lot of people know is that RSM has quite a strong technology business. If a client's looking to get to the cloud, whether that's Xero, MYOB, QuickBooks, we have a process to help them go through that selection, understand the different offerings on the market, how they would fit with their business, the different price points. And if they decide to go Xero, which is obviously a very popular app at the moment, we can help them deploy that and support them across the country. Once the clients actually grow and become a little bit larger, we do also offer Oracle NetSuite as an ERP solution locally. So we all know cybersecurity is a major concern at the moment. So RSM offers a full suite of cybersecurity services. So whether that's penetration testing, whether that's device management within your network, whether that's your policies and internal procedures around cybersecurity, we can do all of that for you. And also adding to that, we do data analytics so that clients can see real-time data about their business and make very informed business decisions. And it's absolutely crucial in this day and age to have data analytics across the data in your business, because that enables you to act fast and be nimble in the sector, which effectively gives you a competitive edge.
Absolutely, yeah. The data's so important now, isn't it? To get that sort of single source of truth. Well, thanks for coming on the show today, guys.
Only a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us, and really looking forward to hearing the cast.
Yeah, cheers. Chat soon.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Paul.
Sure.
So we're coming to a close on day 2, Daniel, at the Modern Manufacturing Expo.
Yeah, it's getting a bit quieter, but there's still stuff happening.
Yeah, excellent. So we got around today, saw a few more solution providers in the industrial automation space, anything to do with smart manufacturing, software, all sorts of solutions, anything here that the manufacturers can learn from.
Look, and I really enjoyed going for a little walk up into the work health and safety stuff. Always something important for manufacturers as well. There was that animated, video provider for training, using game technology to build training platforms that you can edit and update your videos. Nothing worse than a 10-year-old training video.
Oh yeah, that was really impressive actually. We've got the dead old stand behind us that won best spoof at the show. So I think that's a wrap for day 2, and
have to check it out next time.
Yeah, we'll be back again next year hopefully. Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia, coming to you from the Modern Manufacturing Expo at the Sydney Showgrounds on the traditional lands of the Wongal people. For more information, jump on the manufacturingtech.au website.